What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short. Of course, I'm still not sure where I'm going to post this. Probably just going to post it on YouTube, but if so, hit that subscribe button and tap that little bell to be notified should you like the vibes around here and you like the guidance and the clarity you feel you get when you're around here. As always, use your discernment, tap into your intuition, be it personal or collective readings. I'm a psychic medium and I channel and everything, but your decisions and your reactions are your own. Only take what resonates to and for you. Leave what doesn't, but always be sure you're being open and honest with yourself as you receive these messages. I always pre-bless my messages, though lately I've also been doing it a few times when filming. It just channels that way. I go with the flow. Of course, I channeled the situation and then I let the cards come out, and this is what we have before us. I'm going to break everything down, use the cards to show you how they play a part in what I'm saying, and then we're going to give the solution because there are no problems without solutions. But of course, this is your story. This is your life. You do what's best for your highest good. Now, what I was picking up here is friendships or really close family members. You know, maybe a family member you grew up around, like a cousin, a brother, or sister, or something like that. More so maybe in the cousin, just because energetically, if it's siblings, it might be siblings that didn't grow up together. So, you know, parents split or one of the parents isn't the other one's parent or something like that. So it's like you've hung around each other, but you really didn't have to live together, and that situation might have changed at some point. But there's some hostility here that needs to be cleared out. But again, we're gonna hop into it. For some of you, this is fake. I'm getting fake friend vibe. I'm getting frenemy energy a little bit here, and just something triggering it off. Maybe this person just, they could feel that there's something about you that it's just, it makes them jealous or it makes them envious. They don't know why. Probably they probably have a hard time admitting it to themselves, and it manifests in the weirdest ways. At some point an incident took place. Now I feel like for the vast majority of you, this is something older. This could have happened maybe a year ago, or could have even been a few years ago, because I do feel like whoever this is, for a lot of you, you go way back with this person. It led to a back and forth. It wasn't a fight, but there was a back and forth that happened with you guys, and it all started with them asking you to be honest about something. So if that was your ding 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 that you were waiting to hear in this moment, there you go. They asked you a question. They said, give me your honest feedback on the situation, on what's happening, and or if they maybe did something wrong and you care about them, you love them, you're an honest person, so that's what you did. You gave them the real. You weren't, you know, crude about it. You weren't being malice. You said it honestly in the best way that you could, but they turned your whole word around. So to give you guys a very simple example of this, it's the easiest one to give, right? It's like if your friend or significant other says, do I look fat in this? And you're like, no, it's just not cut for you. If you're a seamstress, you understand what I mean. It's not you, it's the dress. The dress isn't cut to fit you. It's kind of like if you're a big booty girl and they're making flat booty dresses. No offense to flat booty, but obviously it's going to fall different. It's not going to fit correctly. You said that very nice. You even probably showed them something better, like, look at this. Now that's you. Now that's fire. They gonna go back and tell everybody, so-and-so said I was fat. They said I was ugly. They said that I was da-da-da-da. You know, it becomes like there's words thrown in there that you didn't say at all. And then to justify this, because this person likes to play word games, this person likes to play mind games, to justify not hearing you out or to justify doing this, instead of just saying, okay, my bad, I was wrong, they're like, well, there's my truth and their truth, and my truth is I felt they meant this. So it goes to that feelings thing. Like, I feel that you meant wrong, and that justifies me changing your whole word, and there's your truth and my truth. For when people say that, I make it real simple, because in some situations that's the case. We can be looking at a shape from different angles, and if the light's coming through it, it's going to look like it's a complete different shape when the light reflects it on the wall. We're all seeing the same shape. We're all seeing a truth. It's just not the full truth. That sometimes happens. But in this scenario, I feel like it's more akin to if they said you robbed a bank Everybody knows you didn't rob a bank. Everybody knows that that's just not on your list of things to do. It's not on the bucket list to rob a bank, right? But that's what this person says, and they're adamant about it because they felt that you did it. Like, I feel that you robbed the bank, or you meant to rob me of something, or treat me dirty, or whatever it was they accused you of. And it's a blatant lie. Whether it's what they feel or not, it's an illusion. It's not reality. To just simplify that by saying, oh, your truth, my truth, would be dead ass wrong, because that's like admitting to a crime you didn't commit. And I feel like to an extent it got heavier than what they like to admit. Some things were said. Somehow y'all still stayed cool after this. I don't know how y'all did that. But somehow y'all figured it out and was reasonable with each other, right? The problem here, it got to the point where I feel like this is the kind of person that'll ask you questions you would give them. And I just talked about this with somebody, actually. They ask you a question, you give the answer, they don't listen. They come back and ask you for the same question. And if you give them the same answer, they get kind of prissy or kind of like about it, you know? But now what's happening is you're becoming a bit passive aggressive due to that big blow up that happened however long ago. And there must be something going on recently that's very reminiscent of that argument or that problem, whatever it was, because lately you've just been having a really short temper span with them. It's like, why the hell are you asking me? I already answered you. You didn't listen the first time. And you have to kind of catch yourself, because you can almost feel yourself kind of just wanting to like push them or, you know, do something aggressive because they're that annoying to you at this point. And that's why I said I feel like somebody might be living with a person, and it could, living together could be new. You maybe didn't live around them or that close to them before, and now it's just like they're very much in your personal space. We have sugarcoat the truth, right? But in this case, it's about not sugarcoating the truth. It's about not being passive aggressive, not standing there and letting them talk and you give the advice and then you get snappy at them, or you kind of give them a half a truth. You omit a few things just because you don't feel like going back and forth with this person. It always backfires and it always turns into something else. Why? I feel like these are two different energies. Here we have the King of Swords energy. That's this person. They can be a bit manipulative. They know how to take something that typically to the average person wouldn't make any logical sense and try to make it sound like it authentically makes logical sense, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. And they like to kind of play people, not just you, but people. Whenever, in other words, if you don't give them the answer they want, if you're not just on their side, if you don't just agree with them, then they make it your fault. And they try to use big words or really detailed descriptions to make that make sense. It doesn't, but that's how they operate. And a fool that's not listening carefully will probably believe them. That's the bad part, because I feel like either y'all share family or y'all share friends, and this is starting to just create a type of atmosphere that's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for them either, but I mean, you get it. You understand. This is your this is your friend, your person. You get where I'm going with this. This energy over here is heavily Gemini, Libra energy. When Libras are out of balance, Libras like to balance the scales in their favors, even when they're in their good, centering positions. Now, I want you to understand the signs I mentioned right now could very well be in their chart, could be in your chart. However, it's not so much just about that. If that's the case, then you know what you need to work with, what you need to increase, decrease, even out. But in this case, it's the characteristics that play into your reading right now. When Libras are unbalanced, that negative side that can take over is exactly what we're talking about. That it's not me, it's you. You're the problem, because I'm the scales. I can't be the problem. It's got to be whatever the scales is weighing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like that attitude. From the Gemini perspective, it's that smiling in your face and acting like y'all are cool every day until you do something they don't like, and then they're the evil twin, and they're like, I never could stand that bitch. I never could stand that dude. They just start talking about you behind your back whenever you do things that they don't like, and you're not doing nothing to spite them. They just don't like the way you moving, or that you didn't give them the answers they want. It feels like there's some jealousy here as well. Why? We're not going to go into all that because that might turn into a personal reading. But there's definitely some type of like irritation that they have towards you, as if they think you think you're better, or as if they think you have something they don't. And that just adds to the problem. It's a really weird game that they're playing in their head. This moves us into that put the pride aside. Now, this is on both sides of the spectrum because, again, when we go back to that sugarcoat the truth, it's about not sugarcoating it. Really, it's about not necessarily allowing yourself to get super irritated and offended at everything they say, and therefore you get defensive, and then it just becomes this tit for tat game between the two of you. You've tried to tolerate their mentality for a long time, and it's just not working. It's not benefiting you. It's really giving you a headache. Why this is so intense on you, only you would know, but it's not benefiting. So the fact of the matter here is to speak the truth, and speak it as clearly as you can, as grounded as you can, and from the heart center. As I was channeling, these are the chakras that came out: throat, heart, and root. You need to be grounded when you speak to this person. Otherwise, you could lose your temper and something else could pop off here, because that's how irritated the energy here is. When you speak your truth, it needs to always come from the heart, which means you don't have the time to feel any kind of malice, hatred, or even animosity towards this person. And again, if they switch you into that vibration, you feel it coming out, you walk away and you take time to collect yourself. For some of you, this could be a friendship that's run its course. It's come with some lessons that you had to learn. Maybe you found yourself sometimes putting up with things you shouldn't, and you're being taught, hey, you got to have some boundaries here. And it's time to end that friendship where it is before it goes any further and becomes a bigger problem down the road. For others, it's pulling back. This person is too comfortable with you tolerating ish. And again, whatever that incident was, I feel like somebody lost something, because I'm seeing, I can't tell what it is. It's like a round shape. It's like something fell on the floor. Looks big enough to fit in someone's pocket. And there's, people arguing, and it's not screaming at the top of the lungs, but it's very emotional. And it's like a lot of movement. You know how people talk with their body, and it's like something fell out of somewhere. It had sentimental value to you. It could mean less to them, and it got lost. And you probably didn't even realize it was lost until way after the fact. Now, for some of you, that could be a metaphor. That could be, again, speaking of the friendship, or speaking of how much you cared about this person, and it feels like the person just threw it away. But for others, there's something physically that got lost, that in whatever it was, it had sentimental value. Maybe somebody important gave it to you. And again, you stayed friends with this person, but you buried that under the rug. Because you knew if you told them that and they hit you with some insensitive bull, it would have been on and crack-a-lack-a-lack-and then. So you just... you called it, you cut it a loss. But the reason both of y'all need to correct this come out the pride, don't miss out on a blessing being prideful and all this other stuff, is because of this Ace of Pentacles here. Which honestly, I feel explains y'all whole situation. There's something beautiful and tremendous trying to start here. There's a new beginning trying to come in. That new beginning might be you having to leave this person alone. That new beginning could be something separate from them coming to you, but it's hard to focus on it, manifest it, or even allow it in when you're caught up in the drama with this person. It's like you're a broken record with this individual. You're always having to repeat the same things, and you find yourself biting your tongue because you don't want to go through the same argument you went through with them before, right? And they like to play these mind games, which makes you want to pop off. You find yourself getting a little snappy and having to pull it back. You can't focus on work because you're too busy. Feel like you're going in circles with this person irritating you. It's like they're running track around you. But when, as much as they claim that you're doing them wrong, you're the first person they call. First person they call, right? Meanwhile, what really wants to pop off is a new opportunity. Whatever that may be, is something tangible. And I feel like that's another trigger for you guys to like understand whatever's being talked about here. Only you know your situation. But it could be a move. Again, it could be a project or something you need to work on. And if you live with them, it's really hard to focus when they're getting on your nerves like that. And it kind of feels like whenever they pop off with you, it's right when something good's about to come along, right? It's just like, ooh, I'm about to get a new car, or I'm about to get this. And then boom, this person is... You're giving them too much power. It's like they're ruining your whole day with one or two little disputes. And a lot of times they do start with them asking you a question. And you get that, why are you asking me? You're not going to like what I say. And now your whole mood is off. Lately, whatever, this energy of what I'm feeling lately between you guys, it's very reminiscent of that last big argument, however long it was. Only y'all know how long ago it was. And that's what's driving you crazy. It's like, are we really going back to this again? Really? we're going back to this kind of bullshit, that's how you feel. Now, again, I'm not picking up on couples, but you could be people that might have been like crushing on each other at some point. I'm more so picking up friends, possible family members, could be siblings that didn't grow up with each other, or cousins or something like that. And that could have been why you also caught yourself trying to work out being cool with them, because if they're family, could be like your favorite aunt or uncle's kid, and you're like, I don't want to, I'm trying not to toss you to the birds, but you're pushing me to that point. And now we get into this King of Pentacles energy and resist pushing buttons. This goes both ways. Reason being, even though they're pushing your buttons all the time, the King of Pentacles is naturally Taurus energy, could be Virgo and Capricorn. And I was also heavily picking up on Capricorn as well. Also over here could be Aquarius, but I was heavily picking up on, you know, Gemini, Libra, Capricorn, Taurus. Tauruses believe in giving as good as they get. So if you want to pop off at them, they're going to pop off at you like 1,000 times worse, just because you tried them. You thought it was the day to do that. Once they see red, that's all they see. And until they hit the target or get tired, full throttle ahead it is, right? Whereas Capricorns can be passive aggressive. The first sign that they're getting tired of the bullshit is when they get too sarcastic. When a Capricorn starts getting too sarcastic about something, it's like, okay, you're wearing yourself thin here. Could be your sign, could be their sign, doesn't matter. This is the energy that's coming from over here. It's that energy of, if I'm getting a little sarcastic, if I'm kind of letting you know I'm annoyed, then the next move is to just boom. Once I go boom, I don't care about rationality or reason. That's what this is about. So it's like, resist wanting to push the buttons back. Resist wanting to give back to them as good as they were given to you. To give them, you know the saying, give as good as you get. Resist doing that, because it's going to turn into a bigger situation. And right now, this, whatever this blessing is, whatever this new beginning is, an opportunity, if you keep getting distracted with this mess, if both of y'all for sure keep getting distracted with this mess, something really huge, you're gonna, it's like, I'm sensing that regret feeling of like, damn, I can't believe I let that slip. Over here, I feel like they'll blame you for it. Over here, you'll be blaming yourself. Like, I knew better. I knew not to go. You're going to have to lean over into the Virgo energy of the King of Pentacles for a second. The practical side. The side that goes, is this worth it? Like, in hindsight, is it worth it to argue with this person as frequently as we've been? Is it worth it to put up with their behavior just because they're family? Or just because they were supposed to be a so-called best friend, even though they ran my name in the mud? When they lied on me, thinking, ask me a question, I gave them the truth, I gave them the real, and they ran and told a whole different story and had people thinking all kinds of crap. That could have led to a missed opportunity. That could have been something else. Remember, I said whatever was missed, it was important to you, could mean less to them. You need to feel grounded. There's the root chakra is here, because when you're talking with this person, whatever kind of communication it is, especially if it's deciding to speak truth, you want to speak truth from the heart. We have the throat chakra here because, again, the truth needs to be spoken from the heart when you are grounded. And if they got you uneven, unbalanced, ungrounded, then you're going to have to pull your energy back. Go collect yourself. No one should have that kind of power on you. And if you allow yourself to think of it from that perspective, it gets easier to catch yourself. Because at this point, they shouldn't even be getting a out of you. That's how on point this needs to be. Okay, so I heard, don't sugarcoat the truth, and then the sugarcoated card came out. Don't try to just save their feelings only. Don't be unnecessarily cruel. There's a huge difference between being blunt and truthful and just being an asshole. I say that all the time when that type of energy comes in. And if they can't handle the truth, like if they give you some legit Jack Nicholson, Tom Cruise, you can't handle the truth vibe, then you biggity bounce. You move on. It's not worth it. It's just not. Whatever you may need to clear up with the other people they were talking about. And again, that's also, is it worth it? You know, these mutual friends or relatives, is it worth it to tell them your side? Are they going to actually listen? Does it contribute to your life in some real way when you really think about it? Because if not, keep it moving. Right now is the time of manifestation. And a lot of obstacles are trying to pop up in people's way to discourage them, to keep them from reaching their fullest potential. And the only thing that can stop you is you. And anything that tries to get in your path, whether it comes in the form of an entity, a person, a place, a thing, is if you allow it in. If you allow this person to get you caught up in their little mind games and running circles around you and all this other stuff and ready to pop off and missed opportunities and etc., who's really to blame for that? Yeah, they were wrong for what they did, but who allowed it, right? But if you say to yourself, you know what, there's a lot of positive things coming in for me right now. I don't have a time to be a broken record with you. I don't have the time to run these laps with you. The phone calls that are coming in should be phone calls about my opportunities, a business, new way of life, whatever that is for you. I just feel like it's something that you can see, feel, and taste. It's tangible. It's breathable. You can breathe it in, right? It's not just a thought. It's something that it's probably something you're working really hard on, and it's just hard to focus when you're in this energy. I'm being led to look at the bottom of the deck, and let's see why. Because we have the never-ending story. I'm singing that song every time this card comes out. I don't care. But yeah, that's what this feels like. The more I talk about it, it's like going in circles. It's happened more than once with you guys. It's just that lately it's reminiscent of whatever that last blowout is. It also makes me feel like this is quicksand. And in quicksand, when both people are struggling, you sink quicker. You're, at this point, you really felt like, I can't believe you dragged my name through the mud like that. I can't believe I never did anything to you for you to play these mind games, or to, just because you didn't get your way, just because you didn't hear what you wanted to hear. And whatever they asked you about might have been something really important, but that was all the more reason to be truthful. You didn't do it out of malice. And by them taking it that way, it led to a lot of unnecessary drama. However you got to the point where you could at least talk to them or be cordial or cool with them is fascinating in and of itself. And for them to start having this reminiscent energy, that just goes to show you, when people start wanting to mess with you hardcore sometimes, or when someone comes in to try to throw a monkey wrench in your vibration, oh baby, that means a big blessing's coming. That's all that means at the end of the day. That little tower moment means that whatever comes next is a brand new fortune, is a brand new beginning. You don't have time to get caught up in this, I feel stuck because you ran me through the mud, or because you're family, or you were a friend I had for a long time. It's not worth it. For those of you that can mend it, you're still going to have to be that honest about it. You're either really meant to be in my life and you can be a part of the blessings that come in it, or you know what, bless you, I see you when I see you. At the end of the day, light bright. I always say whenever, and light bright has been a reference for a while now, but I always say you're your own light. In the dark, you're your own light. But I feel like in this case, this Five of Pentacles is referencing what I said, somebody losing something. It was important to you. It didn't really mean, maybe, it feels like both. For some of you, it feels like for this person, it didn't mean anything to them. And for others, it feels like they have no idea just how it meant to you. Like they didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it was a big deal. So whether that round circular thing missing was like a metaphor, or whether it was a physical thing, it hurt you a lot more and you just swept it under the rug. Now that's something you have to be honest with yourself about. Truth here. Be honest with yourself about how hurt that was, and then let the trauma of that go, whatever it is. It's not serving you. Clinging to it don't do nothing. You're drinking poison and expecting them to die. It's just, let it go. Now also another thing I love, when Jennifer was doing these cards, Divine Moon Empress, she asked who should be the King of Wands. And I was like, the Goblin King. And that's perfect for this. Not only because it's labyrinth, but remember I said something circular went missing, like this clock. Metaphorically, it could be, the clock is running out on this friendship, or it could be the clock is running out on some opportunity coming. And if you stay caught up in this energy, you can't grab hold of what that is, because you'll be too busy complaining that you feel stuck. This never-ending story, right? But also in the labyrinth, some things were trials for her, and then other things were just like unnecessary stuff he was putting her through because he wanted her to forget her brother so that he could have his way. At the end of the day, that's what a lot of it was. Like, he had both, one could say understandable reasons, but then also just completely irrational ones. He didn't want to be the Goblin King anymore, and he wanted love. He wanted somebody by his side, but his way of going about it was foul. But the key here, and why this resonates with your, whoever this person is to you, much like the girl, it's like when they asked you that question and you gave them the answer, it was like how she wished for her little brother to be gone and then regretted it because it wasn't what she really wanted. They asked you the truth, but the truth wasn't what they really wanted. It's what they needed, but it wasn't what they wanted. And that was the problem there. The Goblin King, you know, he was a little manipulative, and that's kind of how this person is. Not all of you are dealing with someone who means to be like just a savage, low down person. But if they can't change their ways and it's making you mentally exhausted or ill, then you got to move on. You got to do what you got to do. I always say the other side of the King of Pentacles is Wands. As far as like if you were to fuse them as one person. And funny enough, the King of Wands is right here with the Sun card under that. So for some of you, you know, the King of Wands is about that. Look, Gemini card with the Lovers right under that. The King of Wands is about that I'm going to have what I need, but they're also about sometimes having it quickly. I feel like sometimes this person kind of gets on your nerves and you may find yourself rushing on projects or conversations that you shouldn't rush on just because you want to get away from them. That needs to change because, again, there's something you need to be focused on. And whatever that is, you need to focus on it with a clear head. Pentacles energy isn't always drastically slow, but it does work in divine timing. And it does say, hey, pay attention. Be practical. Look at the full picture. What's happening? What do you need to utilize and what do you need to put to the side? This conflict is not helping you do that. So the solution for some of you, pull back that energy. Reclaim your energy. It's not theirs, it's yours. Stop letting them take you out of your element. You have the choice to do that because the Lovers card is also about choices, not just about lovers. If this is somebody you were dealing with that you had a crush on, for the small group that's coming in here where there's some type of romantic energy, this is automatic red flags, first of all. But again, they have to come out of pride before they can even really try to talk to you with a clear head. They're too prideful, and once they feel like they're right, they stay in that energy. Responding to them with the same energy doesn't benefit you. You know, this Ace of Pentacles coming in, it's something amazing. It's like a miracle, but you don't want to miss out on it by being caught up in the drama with this person. Allow for the determination that comes with the King of Wands energy. Take you to a position where you're like, I don't have time for the bull crap. King of Wands gives me like Sagittarius vibes. You know, it's like, I don't have time for the bull crap. In the corner, in a box, moving on. And my loves, that was the message that channeled in. Once again, another message that made me overheat. I hope that gave you the clarity and the guidance that you need. Quick note. Communicate from the heart. Stay grounded in everything that you do. Don't let anybody take you out of that element. If you need to cut the tie, cut the cord, cut the tie. If you need to just pull your energy back so maybe this person understands what it's like for you to not be there, what it's like for you to not be a supportive friend or family member or lover, whatever you are to them, then that's what needs to happen. Focusing on yourself and manifesting what's coming into you, crucial at this time. That's what the divine wants you to know. That's what the big part of this message was about, regardless of what part you resonate with. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls.